on that. Now over the page, this shows one of the key graphs that comes out from the LifePlan or the Voyager software for account members. And in my mind, this is what I call the LifePlan. You see that blue shaded area? That's their net financial assets. It actually shows more than 10 years. This shows to age 81 for this client. But you can see net financial assets building up in time, and then they start working less and taking money out. You can see they've got that much in assets so they can't spend it all, which is really good. You can also look at how much income they've got, how much expenses they might have, so what sort of surplus they have over time. So you can see what I would then be doing, and I haven't got it done here, but the LifePlan software that account members have and the spreadsheet that we'll put together, what you could do is overlay an option of if they did nothing, how their assets would go up over time, as opposed to putting money into a property or to another investment. And you could have 3 different lines for the graph going up there. And then you can have a comparison in 10 years how each of those would end up. Now, that's just based on the client's estimates of things that they've given to you that you just put through in the calculation software. Over the page, and I haven't put headings and footers to this, so this looks pretty boring, but this is taken from LifePlan software, and you just insert that into the Word document. So we'll have this all finalised, available next week. You'll see here cash flow. So it shows a projection, total income, total outgoings, and how much tax is being paid. Then key measures, so in other words, what sort of savings they might have and where they might have spent the money. And over the page, consolidated cash flow. So you can see we're doing projections. Every year their income's going up. We're looking at where they're spending the money and what sort of surplus they might have. And then if there is a surplus, how we can allocate it all and put it into either the family home loan, or put it into a cash account, or put it into buying shares, or put it into super. So 4 different outcomes. And then another report that you could choose to have is what their net assets are. So you can show over the years as the earnings get reinvested or whatever else might happen, exactly what their position would be. So you'd put whatever reports that you want at the back of the LifePlan. The key to me is this graph. Keep it simple, and what I'd be doing is I'd start at the beginning of the report, read through page by page, and talk about this graph. And that's all you need to do. That it's as simple as that. What we say to clients at the beginning of the LifePlan meeting is, planning for your future should be very easy. But unfortunately, due to everything happening in government legislation, it gets complex. But let's focus on planning for your future. You're earning income, and you want to maximise that. At the same time, you want to minimise the tax legally that you're paying on that. Once you've done that, and you've paid your family's cost of living, there's hopefully a surplus left over. And you could put that off your home loan. You could save that as cash. You could put it into super, or you could buy shares or managed funds. It's that simple. And then depending on what you choose to do in those areas, you could buy a property. That's when you'd seek out expert advice as to what's the best way of investing in super and how much you should put in. What's the best way of investing in managed funds and everything else. So as you can see, I keep going back to this is an education system to educate your clients as to some possibilities of their future. Because what that you see on that screen there is not going to happen. Tomorrow, this is out of date. So it's important to realise there is no way anybody doing a projection can get it 100% correct. It is a projection. It is a view of the future based on what's happening right now. But the best thing your client can have is a view, one possible view of a future, because in most circumstances that graph wouldn't be that high. The graph would be right down here. And most clients don't have near enough money put aside for their future. Or if they're in business, they're not thinking about grooming the business to be sold in the future. And so they're key things that you can help your client with now at this early period to make this latter period a much better period. Okay, I just had a question there. Okay, yeah, just Gavin talking about how this is being like general advice as opposed to personal advice. What I see this is general tax cash flow modelling advice. It's looking at what income they've got, what expenses they have, and what the tax payable is going to be, and then some opportunities for investing their cash in their family home loan or in cash or in super or shares. And the client will tell you, look, if I bought shares, it'd be a 4% yield or a 7% capital growth or whatever. So and those assumptions are listed in the life plan. So people aren't going to come back and say, oh, you told me I was going to get that. The client's not even asking you to invest. You're not even talking about investing. We're just modelling some possible outcomes. And it's as simple as that. Now, once your client goes away with that life plan and they can see how this could end up for them, that's when your financial planning team gets involved. In fact, what we're going to be doing is focusing on getting our clients to start using Zero Personal so we can look at where their cash is coming and going throughout the year, and we can fine-tune this. Now, every 6 or 12 months, 12 months as an absolute maximum before we talk to them again, we'll pull the life plan out. When the client comes into our office for a meeting, we'll pull this life plan out. We'll have it up on the TV screen in the room. And every time we see them, we'll focus them on this. And that way, make certain that we're doing our best in our accounting firm to help their clients reach their financial goals, and keeps the client focused on what they need to be doing to reach those goals as well. And everything that we do, whether it's looking at buying a business, whether it's looking at doing some accounting work or whatever, all comes back to this life plan. So it's a different approach, but to me, it really brings together everything that your accounting firm and your financial planning firm can do for your client, and helps your clients to keep focused on the bigger picture. And that is, where they're going in their life, will they have enough money in the future when they don't want to work as much? And if they don't, based on our projections, start doing something now while there's still time so you can do it. So it's a document that helps create a sense of urgency in your clients so they can seek your advice, so they're more inclined to actually listen to what you tell them and get started doing something about it. Okay, so if you've got any questions, please type it in the questionnaire and I'll try and answer them. Now, this is what's happening with the life plan. We are going to be releasing this 1st of July with the new updated version of Count GPS. And I think a lot of you would have seen us talking about that in the past. That's what it looks like. That's the updated version of Count GPS. We've done a whole lot of work since then with the Eclipse team on it. So everyone using Count GPS now will get this automatically end of June. The Life Plan module will be released on 1st of July. However, special offer, and that is if your firm renews your Count GPS subscription now or before 30th of June, you will immediately receive the new Life Plan module. So we'll have this ready to go out on Monday. So we're trying to encourage everyone to renew straight away. We'll send out an email to you this afternoon or tomorrow morning with a link you can click on to renew. Now, all you need to do is say, yes, we're going to renew for 12 months. If you're an account firm, you can tell us later on when you want your CTCs. You don't have to pay until 30th of June or 1st of July. No payment required now, but just a commitment that you're going to renew again, and we'll send you the Life Plan module next week, and you can start using it with your clients. As I said, most firms, I think, because it is done from the accountant's point of view, you'll change this around to suit your clients, but the framework is there, the system is there to make it very easy for you to get started doing it straight away. And as I said, every person I've spoken to about doing a life plan has said, yes, I want that straight away. No one has said, no, I don't want it. They all want to know where they're going to be in 10 years' time. And so I think this is a great way that you can refocus your accounting firm for the next period of time on what needs to be done. And it's interesting, here's a client that I spoke to an hour ago that signed up for a life plan, and about $2.5, $3 a year in fees. I think as a result of the life plan, because he wants to buy an investment property, so we'll probably get a loan for $300,000, so we'll get commission of $1,500 on that. He needs income protection insurance, our financial planning team will talk about that. It's easily a couple of grand there. He needs life insurance, TPD, trauma, probably another $1,500 to $2,000 in commissions there. We need to do wills and estate planning, so it's probably $500 worth of work we can do with the lawyers in relation to that. And he needs his super looked at, and if we roll over his super and put them into a different fund and do a few things like that, there's another $1,000 too. So we're probably looking for our firm for $10,000. This is $10,000 worth of work that will be easily generated as a result of doing the $1,000 life plan. And it's work that the client hasn't requested in the past, and we haven't had a focused way of suggesting it to him in the past without starting the big financial planning process. You can see here that when he looks at this, he's more inclined to want to do something about his financial future. So the point of the life plan is to really open your client's eyes to what could be possible, and then based on that, give you a starting point to agree with an action plan to move forward. Now, one thing I just want to give you a demonstration of, and we've had a lot of account GPS firms ask us about how we would use Eclipse Practice Manager to manage the financial planning process within your accounting firm. Let me give you a very brief demo of this so I can show you how we've been doing this. When you have your accountants see clients and they do a tax return, very often you should be getting those accountants to talk to the client about what their options are in relation to lending, what the options are might be in relation to estate planning, whether they need an insurance review, or really telling all their clients you really should engage us to do a life plan for you. So to give you an idea of how, if you subscribed as well to Practice Manager, that would be included in Count GPS. So if I go back to Count GPS, the new version of it, you'd see on the left-hand side there, see Practice Management, you click on that and you come into the Eclipse Practice Manager, which will be built into Count GPS. Let's show you how we can set up a job. Basically, you go in there, click on Job, add a job, select the client, so I'll just select a client here. I'm just trying to find a individual client, see if there's a John Smith here. Gary Smiley, okay. And job. So we've set up financial planning jobs, we've set up shares, we've set up all sorts of various things there. We can allocate that to Brenda, who's our financial planner, put a target date. We want this job done by the 31st of March, or 1st of May, sorry, state active, and job details. We might say life insurance advice needed. Now, you might give an agreed fee for doing this work. You might say, right, well, we're going to charge you $750 a fee for service, or you might know that we'll roughly get $1,000 commission, whatever it might be. So you could put agreed fee on there. Now, what I normally do in our firm is if we haven't given an upfront quote, I will say to our team members, I believe we should do this within $1,000. So let's put a target in there. And then what we can do is we can make certain that our team gets it done without the work in progress going over $1,000. And that's why I believe that if you use Eclipse Practice Manager in your firm, you can actually eliminate write-offs. Let's allocate a resource here. We can also say, okay, Brenda, how long are you going to do? We'll say roughly it's going to take 4 hours to do this work, so we'll save that. Her charge out rate is wrong here, but if you had a charge rate of $250 an hour, 4 would be $1,000. So it tells you how many hours you've allocated and how much the default amount is estimated to be. Okay, so let's save that job. Save there. Now if I go back to our overall list of jobs, you'll see that this job is now allocated against the financial planner. So I'm having a look at the partner's view right now, and you can see at the top, job type financial planning, and if I expand that out, I can see life insurance advice required, so you can see, at a glance what the job is. Budget, $1,000 in WIP, and what status you're at and how many days to go. That way you can keep focused on when you need to get the job out by, and also if your team members start putting time to that job, you'll see how much WIP they have and what percentage of the budget is.